For the very first time today, I'm in the Cambrian Mountains, exploring the Elan Valley. Parked my car near, I might say it wrong, but Rhayader. Quite a well-known town in this area. I'm doing a circuit I found online on the OS Maps app. I think it's no more than 12 miles, but we'll see how it goes. It gets a bit flat towards the end and may deviate my course to make it more interesting. But so far it's been straightforward. Up the road for a bit, which is also a national cycle path, along this byway. I say my thanks to Mark, the Wye Explorer, for the inspiration in doing this walk and coming here. It's mainly through Mark's videos that I've seen what this area can be like. And it's referred to as the desert of Wales, or the Welsh desert. A very wild, untamed place. And with that in mind, I'm probably going to stick to these byways and bridleways where I can. I'm not too sure how fortunate I'd be going off-piste in this area. Yeah, the Cambrian Mountains. Already is quite an incredible place. The byway here is really well signposted. It's open for, as you can see here, walkers, motor vehicles, horses, horse and carts, cyclists. I arrived at my campsite last night in Panpunton Farm in Knighton. Had a pretty good night's sleep actually. I got there about 10 to 8 I think. It's a very small campsite. There's only one toilet, one sink, one shower for the whole campsite, so that gives you an idea of how minimalist it might be. It's very quiet, even being beside the railway line. Trains don't seem to run through the night. Even in the daytime they're quite infrequent. But it's on the north side of the train tracks and north side of the river Team, is it? The river Team. I think officially it's in the Shropshire Hills AOMB, just about. And it's right beside Offa's Dyke Path as well, which I'll be exploring briefly over the weekend. And just south of the river you've got Knighton itself, the self-titled town of the Dyke. The byway I'm following carries on around this hill. I'm going for a short diversion up to the top. It's not very high, but probably worth ticking off while I'm here. I'm calling this the highest point on this particular hill. Of course, good views all around. No trig point, but who needs that? It's a wild place. My walk continues to the west, rejoining that byway, crossing a road and carrying on west towards one of the reservoirs. Let's have a go at this one. Rhayader, 463 metres above sea level. No idea what this might be. Could be a standing stone, some kind of boundary marker. There's a kind of a, is that an I or a T inscribed there? I can't see it very clearly. I'm now looking for a bridleway going down this hill towards the road I can see. After that, going back uphill to the other side of this valley. Now the sun's breaking through, just look at that for a view down there. Looking south. Then back up the hill I just came down. Looks like a man up there, but it's not. It's that standing stone I saw. My aim for this weekend was to walk somewhere different each time. Places I've not been before. I was looking at ideally camping nearer to this area. But most of the campsites around here, around Llandrydnog Wells and local areas, they were either charging £20 per night, which is too much for me, or they were asking you to bring your own toilet. I thought I didn't really fancy buying a toilet, storing a toilet the rest of the year inside my flat, and also, first and foremost, shitting in my tent. I'll definitely come back here again sometime. I have drawn up 2 more walks I could do a bit further southwest of here. Plus I want to get up to Plymlimon at some point and see the Severn at source of River Severn and River Wye. As Mark would tell you, this water is all catchment for the River Wye. The main bridleway runs from up there. That big large stone kind of marks the way. Now we're going up this way towards our next summit. You've probably noticed by now it's quite windy, a bit wet now and again. It's supposed to be overcast and the occasional light shower this morning, but that's it really. But regardless, I'm wearing full waterproofs, trousers on, leather boots. I've also got this little camera bag strapped on here quite crudely. And the reason being that my hip belt pocket has given way. It broke a few months ago and I kind of bodged it up with some tenacious tape. Put the holes reopened again and I keep losing my camera. So for now, this will do. And the camera itself is waterproof, so I'm not worried about it getting wet. If I am reading my map correctly, then somewhere off this path amongst these rocks should be a trick point. Not this first rock, but one of the higher ones. I would have thought I could see it from a distance though. No sign of it just yet. I reckon somewhere along here I should find it. Got some smaller boundary stones here, I reckon. 1, 2, I can see a third just beyond there. Right up there. I think it's pronounced Cregan Key, 533 metres above sea level. The highest point today, pretty sure of that. It's hard to find somewhere not absolutely decimated by sheep shit. I'm standing in it right now, but I've got a cup of tea over here, I think you can see that. I've also brought with me something called Barra Berth, you can see that, made by Outdoor Provisions. I placed an order with the Fell Store website you can use online for this trip, bought some camping meals and that sort of thing. A good company to use. If you join their newsletter on the website, you can get a 10% discount for your first order. I think it's the equivalent of, you know, Kendal mint cake, but for the Wales. It says on here, tastes like orange and tea, inspired by Snowdonia, no refined sugars, that sort of thing, plastic free packaging, dependable, portable, tasty. That is genuinely really nice, much better than a mouthful of sugar. I may need to try and make my own at some point. So we're up here now, Cregan Key, that's how you say it. We're going to carry on down the bridleway into the valley, which you can just see just down there. Then the route I'm following basically comes down to the dam, then follows this road around here, which looks really boring, all the way around towards the Elan Valley Visitor Centre. Then more boring cycle trail along here back to the car park, which is all the way over here somewhere. So what I'm thinking of doing is coming down maybe as far as Mynydde Wye, going back up a bit, either coming down here, cutting that corner off, or trying to do an off-piste bit around here. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. If the weather turns, and I've always got this route as a backup. So the marker post here has been broken at some point. I've got a choice of 2 paths. I'm going this way. Now I forget what I just said. That's the wrong path, I want to go this way. I was doing some research before this trip about the Cambrian Mountains. Back in the 1970s, I think, there was a campaign to potentially create another national park here. I forget why it was refused. I presume that they wanted to keep it quite wild. And personally, I like the fact that it is quite wild. If you like Dartmoor, Bodmin Moor, those kind of places, you really want to come here. And also, in the Elan Valley, you may know there are several reservoirs that were man-made. It was back in the late 19th century. If you want to, you can drive around here, following most of the roads to get to them. There are car parks about, you can just stop off and have a look over the edge. I went to the Port Eliot Festival in Cornwall 4 years ago now. And on one day there was a talk by a guy called Dr. Matthew Green. He's an author. He wrote a book at the time called Britain's Lost City, something like that. He talked about the Elan Valley and the reservoirs here that were made to serve people in Birmingham with decent quality water, which they didn't have at the time. Several reservoirs were created at the expense of small villages, so the villages were evacuated and flooded. One of these reservoirs, I forget which one, in the village that was formerly there, the last couple to live there, to be evacuated, had the same surname as me. I'm pretty sure I'm not related because the origins of my surname, Parry-Jones, is only like 2 generations old. I did look recently to see if I could buy his book, but I couldn't find it online anywhere. But he is doing another book this year, I think, in September time, with a similar kind of title. I may look out for that. You can now see the Garrick reservoir down beneath us. We'll be following that one back shortly. Before we pass that though, head down towards Pennegarrick Reservoir. A slight change of plan then. There's no right of way I can see down towards the dam without going quite far out of my route. Also, the bridleway going down to that farm is a bit indistinct. I'm not a great lover of farmyards either. So I'm going to try and handrail this boundary line for a bit and then try and join the bridleway I'm aiming for a bit further on. That worked out okay then. Heading down towards the road. I did hear a quad bike coming up the hill behind me. Did wonder if the guy saw me heading towards the farm on the right way, but then turning back. Probably not. I spent a few minutes ducked down between the bracken and the ticks. Anyway. This would be the yellow minor road. It's quite nice actually. It's also an off-road trail just beneath me, and beneath that is the B road in the reservoir. It's a nice easy access trail down there. I'm destined for more ascents. Here's the bridleway. There's no apparent way to come up from the path here, so made the right choice in leaving and joining the road earlier. I'm going to get most of this hill done and then have some lunch. I'm not going to lie, this is pretty steep. Still got some way to go as well. Haven't quite met the the coombe yet. There's a path junction here. That one goes right towards Elan village. But I'm going to carry on the bridleway this way, I reckon. I can mix in some quiet road walking after lunch and minimise the walk on the otherwise nice cycle route. My boots today are just far too heavy for those easy trails. I just passed two other walkers going down that steep valley I climbed up. They're both wearing shorts and t-shirts, and I'm here still, fully waterproofed. There's the view again surrounding me. There's still that air and suggestion that it might pour down with rain, but so far it's been good. I'm so glad I came here. I'm definitely going to come back again sometime. Fuck the Brecon Beacons. Fuck Snowdonia. I'm thinking again in terms of lunch. The valley ahead is kind of narrowing, it's very ferny and brackeny on either side. Down here it's nice and spacious, and yet again the sheep have shit everywhere. I'm going to try and find somewhere. So my route from here goes along this bridleway, and I'll join that road down across the river. I'll get to the bridge and I'll follow the trail back towards my car park. And the rain is now starting to fall a bit heavier. It's still not heavy. And even though it's June, it's quite nice having these refreshing days. We had so much hot weather earlier in the month. I'm not a great fan of hot sunny days. I'm pretty sure I'm in the right place, and apparently this is a bridleway. All I can tell you for certain is it's marshy as hell. But it is going the right way. Down this valley. So there's the stream I'm following. This looks more like it though. Rocks underfoot. A reinforced bridleway. As I was saying, I've got probably 2 miles of road walking to go. Easy road walking. Then I could join that easy going trail out to the car park. It's not even 3 o'clock, started at 9:30, that's quite a good day's walking. What a good walk that was. A really good introduction to the Elan Valley and the Cambrian Mountains. I look forward to coming back here again sometime. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you again soon with my next one. Tomorrow I'm staying close to the campsite and again on Sunday, so we'll see what that brings.